I gotta check it. First and foremost. I gotta make sure there ain't no music in them cars because Facebook. I found that out probably about a year ago or two that they copyright you for music, and YouTube does the same thing. So if it's copyright here on Facebook with it, I know I damn hell well I ain't gonna be able to go and post it on YouTube because YouTube is the same damn way. They strict. You know what I mean? But anyway, I want to get off into this here, talking about just in my own way. You know what I mean? The history of America. All right, the so-called America, the history of so-called America. That's what's gonna be the title of this video because I got my study. Y'all can't see it right now, but I got my studying over here, and I'm gonna do my little reading. This is where I come and do my little reading at. You know what I'm saying? And things of that nature. But one of the things that I want to say when I say the history of America, uh, this is more so going into the real biblical Israelites, the signs that would fit them. Because in Deuteronomy 28, chapter of Deuteronomy, it talks about who would fit those curses, who would be identified as now. I'm just gonna focus on the evidence. I ain't gonna even focus on the part like the real Jew, who the real Jew, like the real Jews. Although that can tie in with it, but I'm gonna focus on the trace, the marks, the signs that God said who would I be identified as that, versus the people who over there, them Ashkenazi people, y'all know who they are, and them Khazars. Khazars would refer to those fake Jews, I say, Khazars. I was looking at that in hold on, wait a minute, let me stop this here. Hold on. Okay, I had to wait till the mute. I'm not gonna be able to do it too long out there, but anyway, when I want to, there are several things that I want to talk about because they want. If you try to put a whole big title, one thing I don't like about this here, I liked it the older YouTube, like the Google Hangouts. One thing I liked it about it was that you can take in the Google Hangout and you can just put stuff all across. You can put the name, you can put more stuff, you can put stuff all across there. You can even put your YouTube links there, and you can click on even on the video. But now it's like you can't do. You can only put like our history here in so-called America. That's what I named it. But that's the only far as I can go. I couldn't go and put another long nothing to where it'll all come up there where you can see it. No. It's just a little bit. And that's the only thing that I don't like. They took that away. You can't even type nothing in there and type in the stuff that you want. You can't put words all across the YouTube screen like you did years ago in YouTube. And that's the only thing that I don't really like. Now, as far as the older YouTube, the older Google Hangouts, I loved it that. I think I love, in my opinion, I love that more than I ever loved this new YouTube bull BS that they come out with. So, uh, hold on. I might have to find another spot because it ain't not one car you can find that's gonna have music in the car when you pass it by, and you got to be cautious like that because YouTube and Facebook they not gonna allow you to have music if you don't own the copy. I think that's ignorant. I think they need to like change some of the damn rules that they got. You see what I'm saying? It just don't. Some of it just don't make sense. You got to be muting the video. Maybe they ought to just create something when you playing your videos. It just naturally just mute your video out until the music gone. I think that would be good if they want to, if they are so want to be so enthusiastic. I mean, so in whatever you want to call it about the music. You don't own the copyright of the music and all that type of stuff. In order for you know what I mean? It's just a whole bunch of stuff. It just don't make sense, bro. So get it. Everybody got it. It just don't make no sense, especially us for us as our people, so-called blacks and Spanish Americans. I'm gonna go ahead and move forward with that. This is not a put down on our people. I'm not doing that. I never do that. I always have a passion
long time too. I've been on let's see what's the other one? Daily Motion website. I've been in the Daily Motion streets ever since 2013. So I've been in the social media streets for let's see about 10 years now. 10 years. Yeah, it's been about like that because you can go back and you can look at a lot of my videos from that. But anyway, I'm not trying to get off topic. But uh, in my opinion, this is what. Okay, let me slow down a bit because I don't want to say the wrong thing. I don't want to look like a fool. I don't want to make a fool.
Yeah. So when I look at the condition of our world and our society, there was an elderly lady was telling me today. She said she said you don't see what so-called white people has done for our family. You don't see. I said, wait a minute, hold on. What type of work? I was asking her so many words. No disrespect to the elder. All praises to our leaders and in the community. I just feel like that they are when it comes to our biblical history. I was telling her we worship and serve everybody else's history. Christmas, so-called Thanksgiving, all these pagan holidays when it comes to what's the other one? So-called demonic witchcraft, uh, Halloween, so-called all these just so-called St. Patrick's and all that old day and all that. Uh, July Thanksgiving, 1776, when they celebrated the birth of America and all of that. Why is it that we are so passionate especially when we learn the truth about what these things stand for? You see what I'm saying? We don't have no desire is to do this. Let's go. Matter of fact, let's get that grab this real quick. I'm quoting from the Apocrypha, and I'm going there because when I say our history here in the so-called America, that's what I'm jumping around and I'm gonna be putting things in. You know what I'm saying? And I want to get my honest thought that our so-called African American and Hispanic, Native American black men, black women especially, um, they really they have been conditioned by these nation of people, the enemy. You see what I'm saying? And notice I always go back there because it's deeper than just saying, oh well, the so-called African American black woman, blah blah, this and that and the third. No, I'm not going to sit here. Of course, we can give accountability. Don't get me wrong. We can give accountability now because there has to be. I understand there has to be a balance in this stuff because the Bible said false balance is an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is His delight. Some things that we can do ourselves, and I think that's where it come in at. And then they want to, but when you see all of these different things, like what is this? Well, we play this victim game, blacks and this and that, and the so-called white man's ruling and all that kind of stuff. People want to say that we're playing the victim game. How in the hell are we playing the victim game when we literally have to go to their store? How are we playing the victim game if I'm literally sitting here? This building here is owned by the very same people that we say that we're blaming victims and stuff like that. When they literally, which I experienced in the past, getting a call of so-called white man coming outside and saying, "Hey, excuse me, you can't be here," and this and that. And you know what he told me? You don't, you don't own this here. This is not yours, and this is not yours. But he have a furniture store But yet still, he benefited off of what his ancestors done, but told me is to get up and leave, and I couldn't be there. I'm just, you know what I'm saying? This has happened in the past. Hold on. I had to mute it because it was some music passed by in a truck. All right. So we don't own anything. We don't own no trade market centers and all that. We don't own no furbish center, no furbishing business for different things like furbishing cars, businesses, and we don't even own entrepreneur businesses. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I would no. We don't we can grind, but at the same time, when they say work hard and get out here and grind and get what you gotta get, you shouldn't have to do all of that. They'll say work hard and grind and you can get up to where you at and this and that. At the end of the day, who you still have to go to for all these things? When we go and buy grocery, buy food, buy books to educate ourselves, if we want to buy books to educate ourselves, who do we have to go to? We have to go to their corporate stores and Best Buy. Who owns Best Buy? If you want a computer, if you want a phone, if you want any of these things, can I go to my own people and say, I'm gonna go get me a phone. I'm gonna go and get me this here. I'm gonna get them to give me this here. All I gotta do is give them $20 or $30 and boom, I'm good. We can't do that. What does that sound like? That sound more European. Europeans, they can go, the people that they own a business and they can go and they just say, hey, I want this and I want that, this and that. And they can get it for little or nothing. Why? Because this is their world and this is their kingdom. And then some people say, well, you can have the same thing and this and that and third. Mess up anytime, and they can take all of that from you and strip it from you and put you in a prison system like they did Bill Cosby and all of the rest of them. They still had control of him at the end of the day, and he did end up doing 3 years or something like that in a prison for some shit that they claimed that a so-called white woman accused him of and this and that and the third. But you're gonna walk around and tell me when our people still living in a certain community, right? Hold on, all right, hold on. All right, I had to pause it because it was the music came. Okay, let's read. Let's go to Ecclesiastes. I think it's 30. No, 4. Ecclesiastes chapter 4. I believe it is. No. Baruch. It might be First Maccabees 4. Or let's go to it. No, this is not it. First Ezra chapter 4. Hopefully no music don't come right away. Thou shalt find that Israel by name had kept thy precepts, but not the heathens. This is Second Ezra chapter 3 and verse 36. Thou shalt find that Israel by name has kept thy precepts, but not the heathens. The heathens will be the other nations. But you got so many people that will still try to come up and argue that. Let's see here. And what I'm doing is that what I'm trying to say is that just bear with me in this video, y'all. I know I'm all over the place and I know whatever, but just bear with me. Hang in there with me. Um, when you look at our women has been conditioned through slavery here. You see what I'm saying? When they ignore the so-called black man, you can go on YouTube. You can find plenty of videos of our men, so-called black, Hispanic, Native American men, reaching out to our women, especially the so-called black men. And the women pass by, and they have these attitudes. But the reason that the reason that our women are in these situations like this is because the enemy has came in and sowed tares amongst them, our people. And the enemy has conditioned our people and told our women that it is okay to love money more than you love your so-called black man, Hispanic or Native American man, or whatever. This is how. Why do you think they got this name, America? What is America? America just means another white man's name. Africa is another so-called white man's name. We let's see. Now let's keep going. Now I know I'm gonna substantiate those evidence. I'm gonna eventually do it. I might have to do it in several videos. But let's read Second Ezra 6, and let's see what verse 9 says. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow. Now, why would it say Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow? Meaning that Esau kingdom ruling this world, right? Esau kingdom rule this world right now. They're in their kingdom. So we wonder why we living in separate communities, right? We live in separate communities. I don't know if that's an Asian guy or whatever. We live in separate communities. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, we live in separate communities, right? And you go into the Caucasian man's neighborhood, guess what? They living good. You can damn near pull your food out on the ground in the Caucasian community. You see what I'm saying? And you can eat off the ground and you won't even get sick or nothing. That's how good that they're living in their community. You go in our community now. You may have brand new project apartments and stuff, but if what have the Caucasian people done for our people in our community? Seriously, what have they done? Have they came into where are we at right now? Do we have a big mansion? Are we living good like they are? If they want to say, look, matter of fact, I did a video about this yesterday, and I'm just gonna confirm it and break it down. If God loves everybody, then you explain this shit. Why is it that we live in a certain community? Some of our people is paying $1,200 a month, right, to live in those certain apartments and in those conditions. But you go in their community, they living good. They living way better than me and you. You can go literally go on my other channel and you can literally see me walking into their neighborhood. You may have to scroll. Matter of fact, I just did a video about this. I think it was the other day or day before yesterday. And I say, if God loves everybody, then you explain this shit. You explain this shit. Hold on. Hold on. The reason I did that because of music. Again, the music and stuff be passing by in these vehicles and stuff like that. If God loves everybody, think about what I'm saying. Why are we living in separate communities? Why is one community crying out and the other one wanna play word games and act like stuff like this ain't happening? I told the Most High is to make me bold for this truth, bro. I did. I told the Most High to make me bold for this truth. Now I just had that, and I had to skip it because it was some music that came by. Here we go. Second Ezra chapter 6 and verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. Jacob, you remember when the Bible says the first shall be last? That's talking about Esau. The first will be last, and the last, talking about the poor, the so-called Hispanics, blacks, and natives of America. The last will be first. You see what I'm saying? And we living in a so-called white society where they control everything, right? And that's what it means. Our people is going to be back in rulership. This, if you look at this society right now, and let us not play word game, the so-called Hispanic, Black, and Native American Black woman is not in their original state. Let's just keep it real. You know why they're not in their original state? It's because the enemy came in and sold terrors and told them that it's okay for them is to love money more than they love their own so-called black man. It is okay for them to do that. This is what Esau planted in our people's heads. Let's keep going. Verse 10 of Second Ezra chapter 6 and 10. To the hand of man is bewitched, and he and heel, and the hand other questions. Hold on, wait a minute. Okay, music passed, but I hate doing that. That's why I say I'm gonna have to go. I see I'm gonna have to go into another spot where I won't have to keep doing this here. You know what I'm saying? I answered them, the hand of man is bewitched. Hold on. Yeah, I see I'm not gonna be able to do this alone. The hand of man is bewitched, and the heel and the head, the hand and the head and the hand of other questions. Esdras asked thou not. I answered them. I answered then and said, O Lord, thou bearest rule. I have found favor in thy sight. See that? I beseech thee, show thy servants the end of thy tokens thereof. Thou showest me part of the night. So he answered and said unto me, stand up upon thy feet and hear a mighty sounding voice, and it shall be as it were a great motion, but the place where thou standest shall not be moved. Okay, I want to find the part where it was talking. I'm going to find something where it's talking about keeping the commandments and stuff like that, of that nature. Let's read this right here first. Ecclesiastes chapter 4 and verse 25. In no wise speak against the truth, but be abashed of the error of thy ignorance. Be not ashamed to confess thy sins, and force not the course of the river. Make not thyself an underline to a foolish man, neither accept the person of the mighty. Strive for the truth unto death, and the Lord shall fight for thee. That's good news, bro. Be not hasty in thy tongue, and in thy deeds slack and remission. Be not as a lion in thy house, nor frantic amongst thy servants. Let not thy hand be stretched out to receive, and shut when thou shalt repay. It says, strive for truth unto death, and the Lord shall fight for thee. Be not hasty in thy tongue, in thy deeds slack and remission. Be not as a lion in thy house. When it say be not as a lion in thy house, I would say don't be a lion in a bad way against my own people. I'm this lion all of a sudden when it comes to my people. But when it comes to the enemy who hate us, the natural born enemy, I'm all of a sudden I'm this lamb. That doesn't make any sense, bro. Because that's the one who enslaved our people. Why would you have love for the same people who enslaved you? We even, not only that, we bow down and kiss their holidays, how people do. You should be pissed off every time you hear that word, what they call Thanksgiving, and where they say Thanksgiving, I like to call it Thanksgiving. That's what it is. I like to call it for what it is. I don't like to, when you say Thanksgiving, you sugarcoat me. So if you're the person watching this video for the first time, and you sitting up there and you believe that um that you got to say Thanksgiving, I lost my thought, but that's all right, whatever. You deceiving yourself. You got to call it like you see it. That means you're deceived if you're saying Thanksgiving. But if you say Thanksgiving, that lets me know you're not deceived. If you're saying Thanksgiving, because that's what it is, Thanksgiving. You should be angry when you see that type of stuff. You should be angry. Every time you hear somebody say Happy Thanksgiving, when somebody say Happy Thanksgiving, it offends me, meaning that it makes me mad. And it's not that I don't hate them. I just, when I hear it, if you, look, bro, when you come to love the Most High God, and when you come to keep His commandments and all those different things, whatever the Most High hate, you gonna hate it. Anything that the Most High hate, you gonna hate it. Why? Because you are of Him. Anything that the Most High love, you gonna love it. That's how it goes. You see what I'm saying? If you love your children, what you gonna do? You gonna chastise your children. If somebody is messing with your kids unjustly, what are you gonna do? The natural instinct kick in. You wanna like go out and do some, go to war. You see what I'm saying? That's how the Most High feel when we, when I'm gonna say when I engage in these unadulterated acts. You see what I'm saying? Look what it says here. I'm gonna read this in Ecclesiastes chapter 6 and verse 13. Separate thyself from thy enemies and take heed of thy friends. It says, verse 14, a faithful friend is a strong defense, and he that has found such in one has found a treasure. Verse 17, I skip. Whoso fears the Lord shall direct his friendships aright. For as he is, so shall his neighbors be also. My son, gather instructions from thy youth up. My son, gather instructions from thy youth up. So shalt thou find wisdom until thy old age. You will find wisdom until your old age. So I'm saying all of that to say this here. Our women's have been conditioned through slavery is to not to take accountability, if that would be safe to say. They have been conditioned is to not to take accountability for their action. I'm trying to watch to see if it's any somebody gonna pass by with music or anything like that. That's what I'm doing. Yeah. So if you're watching the video, I want you to get the message instead of you focusing on like, oh, what is he turning around for? What is he doing all that for? No, but sure then. I'm not afraid now. I'm not, because I tell the truth. But at the same time, bro, I do the best I can. I'm not bragging and boasting and that, but I do the best I can and keep trying to keep the commandment that my fridges is and stuff like that. I'm not trying to say I'm better than nobody else. Don't get me wrong. I'm not here to do that, y'all. I'm not here to act like I'm better than nobody else and all that. I don't act like I'm more than any of our people. I don't do that. I don't come on here and act like I never had a fault. I never had done this and I never. sin and all that kind of stuff. I'm not coming like that. You see what I'm saying? I'm not gonna come here and be lying like that because I don't believe in. I do everything in my power and tell the truth, and that's what I'm all about. Because that's what the Most High would want. You see what I'm saying? And I do it not because somebody can see me, but because it makes you feel bad, even a bad thought. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to come on here and act like I'm like the way I'm talking now. I get to myself and I'm the same person before I even turn the camera on. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I do. So uh Ecclesiastes chapter 6 and verse 20, verse 13. Ecclesiastes 6 and 13, verse 13. Separate thyself from thy enemies and take heed of thy friends. Only your friend is going to try to do what he can is to tell you the truth. But at the same time, again, let me reiterate this again. Our women have been conditioned through slavery. It's not to take accountability. Of course, they're not taking accountability. Of course, some of us don't take accountability and this and that. But those things stemmed in embedded in us through our um, natural instinct when we was conditioned into another way of thinking as well as slavery and all that kind of stuff. So it's just embedded in our natural instinct is to be like that. You know what I mean? And I understand we do have to start taking accountability and stuff like that. But at the same time, we can't run away from the fact that even when we do come back and keep the commandments to the best of our ability, there still is going to be thing we're not just going to be full of. We're going to do the best that we can. You see what I'm saying? Um, what else I want to say? I'm trying to think of something else that I want to say before I close this video out, because there is a lot to talk about. We are living in a society to where there's an economic situation that is created to where, like, you have a lot of our women who has been conditioned is to say that it's all the so-called black man's fault, and don't try to blame the system for your failures and this and that, when you can literally go out and you literally can get anything that, or what they want to call a so-called white man can get, or this and that. But here's the catch. Here's the deal right here. Black men, so-called black men, Hispanic and Native American men, do not own no cooperation systems. They don't own no institutional system that can help our community in that type of way. They don't have the resources that it takes is to do that, because to an extent, we all are under this thing called the power structure, and we are abiding by the power structure. And the power structure that has been put in place is not a structure that we can go and we can just put things out and lay down this and that and make things and this and that. You know what I mean? We have this higher power system that we have to go to, which is what I was talking about in the video earlier. And the only way, even if we grind and we can get it like that, our people we still have to grind. We have to go and get it all those resources. Like, you have a lot of our people who are rich. Some of them collectively, so to speak, and they're rich or whatever. You see what I'm saying? But at the same time, they still have to go and get all of their resources from another nation. You see what I'm saying? Everything that we have, we still have the resources of them. We still have to go to certain stores to a degree, and we have to spend and this and that and the third and all that. We don't fully just control, because think about it. Mr. Cosby, like I said earlier, had all of that stuff. But when them people came and lied on him and came against him and said he did all these things like rape, this and that and third, and went in and went to doing all this stuff here, all them people, they took all them over 100 and some women's words and all that kind of stuff. And guess what happened? This man ended up doing. He ended up getting, like, they ended up putting a blind, and he was blind at that. And those people took and put this man in a prison system. That's what they did. They put this man in a prison system. This man blind in the prison system. You see what I'm saying? So you are a sick individual if you can take our elderly people and confine them into a place for 3 years This man is in his 80s and do that. Nobody can does stuff like that but demons because they hate our people. You see what I'm saying? They hate our people. That's why they do all of that. And yes, I can say, and I gave the reason why, is that in my opinion, I really do believe that, and this all comes from slavery, and this comes because our people has been conditioned by the white power structure to be in that state of mind. Our women has been trained and taught by these European nations, because you have to remember during slavery, before slavery, our Hispanic and Black and Native American women wasn't that way. You see what I'm saying? Until those so-called white power structure came and went to different parts of the world and colonized it, and raped, robbed, and murdered, and laid their seed everywhere. You see what I'm saying? And that's what put that and programmed that into their embedded into their psychology and their psyche. You see what I'm saying? And when I look at them like doing like that, I know it's not really them; it's the enemy who has programmed and conditioned that into our sisters' heads. That I love money because number one, you have to think about it like this here: we have been stripped from our resources for so long. You see what I'm saying? Until, of course, when you're trained to hate that which come that you came from by the so-called white man or whatever, of course you're gonna say things like you love money. I love the so-called money, then I love the so-called African American so-called black man. Of course I do. Of course I hate him, and I'm gonna do what this white power structure say is to hate the black man, love the so-called white man because he the only one that can put money into your hand. It's because of what you call this here. Um, Notice that when our women go for like WIC and try to get help and all that type of stuff, they go for help and try to get help and stuff. What was one of the first thing that the so-called white power structure tell them? Well, do you have a man in the house? If you got to be a single parent household, you get help. If you got a man in the household, you got to get the man out the house. You have to understand that this is what all those other nations from the very start of Eve, when she listened to that nation of people, the Africans, the Canaanites, that told her, "In the day you eat of this fruit, you will not do." Meaning that if you accept this knowledge of this Christianity, that was the knowledge of Christianity back in the day. But notice that the enemy did not go to the man like that. Why? Why didn't he go to the so-called black man during that time, the Hebrew man? Because they know when it comes to the so-called Hebrew, Black, Hispanic, Native American man, they know that the white power structure know they can't pull that wool and pull that bullshit. The so-called white power structure know that they can't pull that bullshit game on a man. So that's why they always try to go through the woman, because they know that the woman would be the weaker vessel, and they know we ain't gonna go for no for the most part they ain't gonna do it, because you see the example in Genesis. The serpent didn't go to the devil. The nation of people didn't go to Adam with that because they knew they couldn't. They didn't go through the man. They had to go through the woman and all of that. That's why the woman today, our women are the like weaker vessels. But when it comes to Esau and the other nations and stuff like that, because it's a deep, it's a more deeper than what we think it is. You see what I'm saying? It's a deeper psychology behind all of that. You see what I'm saying? So the so-called white power structure that has been put in place, it prevent our men, so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American men, from actually going about and doing what they supposed to do. Of course, we can do the best we can in this captivity and that, but at the end of the day, none of y'all nobody can deny that you still have to go to those structural people and and and, and get certain resources. A lot of resources, you still got to go to them and everything. Perfect example. If our people commit crimes, so-called black men commit crimes and stuff. You, and if you ride in a car, if that's the case, get out here and ride and drive in a car with no insurance or no driver's license, and you'll see exactly how much control that the so-called black, Hispanic, and Native American man has. They don't have none, because Esau is not going to allow you, the so-called white, the Caucasian man, is not going to allow you is to get out here and drive on the highway with no goddamn driver's license. They ain't going to allow you to do that. They're not going to allow you to do that. So if you're telling me that we are free, then I would like you to get in your car with no license tag on there, no driver's license, and get on there and go to driving on the road, and you're gonna find out real quick just how free you is. Well, we doing good. We can't complain. No, we not in our kingdom. Now they, of course, they can get out here and they can drive with no insurance or no driver's license. Why? Because this is their kingdom. They do what they want to do. Yeah, they can do what they want to do because this is their kingdom. Yeah. Who created all that about ID and this and that and the third? All that shit represents slavery. Now, when you say everybody got to do that, or everybody got to be take part in that, hold on. There was some music in that red car, violet red. I call it violet red, but looked like it was a Mustang. I don't know, but anyway, um, yeah. So you still enslaved. You still a slave. Now they may some people say, well, that's just the law. It's not slavery. It's just the law. No, um, they took the laws where it says stop, thou shalt not do whatever. They got that from the Bible. So when they say obey the laws of the laws of the land, they took and stole things from the biblical scroll of the Bible, and they made it into their own laws. Yep, that's what they did. I feel like it's something I still left out in this video, but I'll come back and I'll do another one later.